Hey guys, Coach Pete with AcademicRecruits.com. Today is August 2nd. The recruiting period is over. And if you're one of those kids who hasn't started to hear from college coaches yet, a couple of things. One, it's okay, don't panic. College coaches usually sleep on August 1st. They're so exhausted from July. And then, of course, the first thing you're going to do is follow up with the kids you've been recruiting for a long time. Start thinking about setting up some official visits. But then in the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you'll go back and look at all your notes on the kids you saw maybe for 5 minutes here, 6 minutes there. They did something you liked. You meant to go see them play another time, but you didn't have a chance to. They're going to start reaching out to those kids, to high school coaches to get film, to counselors to get transcripts. So just because you're not hearing from college coaches right now doesn't necessarily mean that you got missed. You may just be in a situation where it's going to be a couple of weeks before college coaches can organize their thoughts and pull it together to reach out to you and try to find out more information. Now, what should you do right now today to help yourself? The first thing, and we've said this repeatedly, work on your game. Go make 500 shots a day. Go find a pickup basketball game where the players out there are more athletic and are better basketball players than you are, and then play as hard as you can. Work on your handle. Get in the weight room. You constantly need to focus on improving your own game, because ultimately, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do as far as marketing yourself, the cream does rise to the top to a certain extent. So very important to be out there working on your game. Then second, any school that's contacted you at all, it's an email, it's a form letter, it's whatever the case may be, a telephone call, who knows. Any school that's shown any interest in you whatsoever, if you're not hearing from them in the next day or two, you need to reach out to them and say, Coach, did you see me play? What did you think? Where do I fit into your recruiting plans? Etc., etc. So just to review, if you're hearing from schools right now setting up official visits, you're ahead of the game. That means that they're very, very interested. And of course, if they schedule you to come up early September, that means most of the time that you're a high priority for them. If you're not hearing from schools, don't hit the panic button. There's an all-league kid, Ryan Willem, that we recruited to Lafayette. We saw him, got very lucky, saw him for 10 seconds, circled his name, and we followed up in mid to late August. And he wound up being a kid we signed and who was a very good player. So you don't need to hit the panic button if you're not hearing from schools just yet. There are a lot of reasons why that may be the case. You didn't necessarily get missed. And then if you're not hearing from schools, you should reach out to every single school that's contacted you to let them know you're still there in case they heard your name but they didn't quite remember your name, or they meant to see you play but they forgot to. Well, get back in touch with those schools and let them know you're around, let them know you're interested. And then finally, of course, again, work on your game. Work on your game all the time, outwork people, continue to improve, and things will usually work out pretty well for you. It's Coach Pete at AcademicRecruits.com if you have any questions, and I really appreciate y'all's time, and I'll be back at you tomorrow. Thanks.